It is a worrying day, but to be honest, the first thing every Chelsea fan has told me today, they wanted to put it into perspective. Compared to what's happening in Ukraine and the horrors of war there, this pales into insignificance. But in the Chelsea world, in the football world, this is a huge story. This club is effectively being run by the state. And for many here, this is the beginning of the fall of the Roman Empire.
Chelsea is changing by the hour. This was the club shop opened this morning. But just moments later, it had to shut its doors. Closed until further notice, read the sign, as the government sanction took effect.
You worried?
A bit, of course I am.
How will the finances run in the club? So, yes, of course, it's very worrying right now.
I'm a bit shocked by the news because obviously, you know, politics and football don't really mix together.
I think it's an absolute joke to all the people here, but in terms of Abramovich, he does deserve sanctions for his involvement in Putin's regime.
I think it's a bit unfair to sanction him.
Abramovich!
With his millions, Chelsea have won it all. Buying the club in 2003, and in a blink of an eye, they were champions of Europe and even the world. But now his prized asset has been seized.
The kings of European football.
Chelsea is now effectively state-owned, with the government saying it needs a special licence to operate, and there are strict rules of what it can and can't do.
Abramovich cannot now sell the club as he planned to do last week. Chelsea can't sell new tickets. Only season ticket holders will be able to go to matches, and they can't buy new players or agree new contracts with current players.
I think Chelsea fans in the main are mature enough to realise that the Abramovich era is now over, and they might have to accustom themselves to a club which does not spend money with the same relaxed approach as it's taken historically.
It's really upsetting. It's an upsetting day for all of us fans. Like I said, we're innocent in all this. We really haven't done anything wrong, and we're sort of feeling the impact of everything that's happening, and it's a very political situation, and that's sort of out of our control, unfortunately. We're not going to go anywhere. We just hope that there is an agreement made so that the fans have to suffer as less as possible.
I know it pales into significance compared to what's going on in Ukraine, but from a supporter perspective, we want to get lines run underneath it. I think now it's a case of it'll be a government-led sale rather than the individual.
And more money worries tonight. The club's shirt sponsor by Three, worth $40 million a year, is being withdrawn by the company, asking for their logo to be taken off immediately.
Well, as for the club, they haven't said very much, although they have said they wanted the terms with the government amended. So, for example, some details, they're only now allowed to spend £20,000 on an away game, and when you're playing Champions League games with a whole squad travelling to Europe, that simply isn't enough money, we've been told off the record. So there are many uncertainties still here, but the football show carries on, and both the men and women are in action tonight.